First and foremost, before we get started, I like to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rekah Kwadash, and double honors to those green millstone, while unto his truth, and also to those elect that scattered abroad. I like to say, Shalom. Come back here today with another great, powerful lesson through the spirit and the power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. And the type of day lesson is the ultimate plan. So I like to say shalom to all our listeners and learners. Hope this helped you today and guide you back in the path of righteousness and back to your true power, which in fact is Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. So before we get started, let's go to the book of 2 Corinthians chapter 2 and verse 11. And it reads, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. So when you go into that word devices, goes into what his mindset, goes into his purpose, his plan, what's his agenda, and what is that agenda? Total control. That's the advantage that he's trying to get, over you, which in fact, he's trying to make you a petrol slave, to give you that badge of servitude. So we already knowing about they're trying to roll out this project 25. When you get around to it, look it up. It's a lot of prophetic information on there. Very things that they're putting into place right before our eyes. Also, we knowing about these executive orders he's constantly putting into place. Also, we knowing about this system that they are putting into place. This new digital infrastructure. Even though we sound like a broken record, but hey, man, this is where we at right now. So, and also we know that what's going on in China is getting ready to come to America. We already know about the social credit score over there in China. They're rolling out this new surveillance system. Big Brother is watching. Look that up. Also it's going to be dealing with DARPA. A lot of these things are coming into play. And also we know that they're using that hawk manipulating the weather machine, in several places. We already know what happened in just recent in St. Louis and also in Kentucky, Salaki, many other places. I think it was London, Kentucky. But, one thing about it is all through the spirit and the power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. We know that the Lord is in perfect control. So we already know he's trying to get that advantage, total control. That is the ultimate plan, to bring out the NWO. That's exactly what they're trying to roll out. So we constantly seeing things are constantly changing. They're constantly putting things into place. We already knowing that, that these the stage is set, all things are ready. So right now, a lot of things is going down to your identification. It's going to be dealing with your biometrics. That's what we're constantly warning you about, left and right. Also, we know that many would be taken in a great number. We know that all roads lead to that grain of rice, the ultimate plan. So that's exactly what they want to do. And also their inward thought is that they will rule forever. But one thing about it, we already know that we're at the end of this man's reign of terror. So that's why I named the day video the ultimate plan. So I have a few little videos and we're gonna bring them out in a minute. So we seeing that we are so very close. Revelation chapter 13. 16 through 18 is speaking loud and clear. It's getting ready to be a global event. You will not be able to buy or sell, not being a part of this new plan, a new system that they're putting into place. So, once again, we're not ignorant of his device. Satan, and who is the physical counterpart of Satan, the so-called white man, the devil that the Bible speaks of. So we already knowing that his time is very short. So he's getting ready to come down with great wrath. So we getting ready to see a lot of things. Also, we knowing what's going on in the Middle East right now. We seeing that China is getting ready to give aid to the Gaza, over there in Gaza, or the Gaza Strip, and they already telling Israel that if they get involved in what they're trying to do, they're going to wipe them off the map. And also it's rumors that Israel is saying that they're getting ready to go into Iran. It's only a rumor. It has not been confirmed, but we're going to hear rumors of wars are all over the place. Things can go nuclear at any given time. So this is the ultimate goal. They want to bring out all this order out of chaos. But one thing about it, it's getting ready to turn upon their own head. The Lord already said their hands will not be able to perform their enterprise. So we know that the devil is getting ready to try to fill his belly. This what evil scheme, his evil plans. And one thing about it, trying to get advantage, but we're not ignorant. Who is that? The prophets, the men of the Lord, the one that's constantly sighing and crying. Whether you will hear or whether you will forbear. So I have a few little videos. Really didn't have too much tonight, but once again, I hope that you will get edified. I'm going to try to bring it out through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shai. So let's get started with the video. And after the video, we'll start the lesson. And I hope that you will get edified. So the first one is about, you already know what they get ready to roll out in China. This is about, this social credit score. Also this is going to lead into this universal basic income, and also it's going to lead to this new digital money. And also the ultimate plan is that what grain of rice. So we'll start with this one first. We know about Project 25. And also that I think the last one I had was about face palm recognition, eye retina scan, a lot of different things that they're putting into place. Technology is already here right before our eyes. And a lot of our people are sleeping. While you're sleeping, the devil's constantly getting busy. So let's start today's video. And once again, after the video, we'll start the lesson. And I hope that you will get edified.
It's called the social credit system. A person's reputation is scored on a scale of 350 to 950. And how you, with a good score of 752, is okay with it. In fact, most people are.
It's a mechanism pushes you to become a better citizen.
It's big data meets Big Brother, expanding how the government monitors, understands, and ultimately controls its 1.4 billion citizens, thanks to advances in artificial intelligence and facial recognition, and a web of more than 200 million surveillance cameras.
Are people bothered by privacy concerns?
We think a lot of camera will keep the safety. It's really good. We can accept it.
Companies are experimenting with the algorithms to help the government create the new national social credit system. The government also has pilot projects. In one, citizens are required to do hours of unpaid work to get benefits. And scores are docked for things like littering, a messy yard, gossip, even jaywalking. Video of offenders is shown on the local news. And information collectors like Zhou Aini are paid to report on their neighbors. Her quota, 10 entries a month. Good social credit gets rewarded with perks like cheap loans and travel deals. But a bad score means public shame and worse.
I want to talk about the ultimate plan that Trump and Musk and Project 2025 have for us, ordinary people who aren't billionaires. And I'm not exaggerating when I say the ultimate plan they have for us is for us to die. That plan, having a policy that tries to make sure that people who aren't super rich die or die young, has a name that's been around for almost 200 years: social murder. And if you don't believe me, look at what Doge and Elon Musk did with the National Weather Service. Musk, Doge cut the National Weather Service right before tornado season in the South. And what's happening? People are now experiencing, in Kentucky, soon elsewhere, tornadoes without warning. And in Kentucky, people just died. The GOP is passing a budget basically created by Project 2025 that's going to cut Medicaid to such a degree that over 8 million people are going to lose their health care. What's going to happen? Yeah, people are going to die. Across the board, from workplace safety, food safety, air and water quality, everything's going to be degraded. More people are going to die. You and me. So why are they doing this? Which the Christian right, by the way, is 100% behind. Doesn't sound very Christian or moral to me to let people die. It's because they ardently believe that the role of government exists simply to make wealthy people even wealthier. Regulations and rules that allow you and me to live a little longer That's not part of their equation. And we know long term it has never been part of their equation because Americans flat out don't live as long as their counterparts in Western Europe. And in fact, our lifespans have been declining. The goal of Trump and Musk and Project 2025 is to make sure by policy that you and me don't live as long. When we're no longer of use to them as young, able-bodied workers, off we go. So why are people voting for this? Voting for their lives being shorter and shorter every year. Because the billionaire class has been successful at distracting the working class by saying, don't worry about them. Don't worry about the fact that you're not going to live as long. There are trans playing sports. Worry about that instead. And somehow we've got to wake people up. And that's not being woke. Wake people up to the fact that they have been conned.
So this man's saying that he don't got to use no credit card or nothing to pay for this water right here.
I didn't know if you cover anything.
Oh, I got my, okay, thank you. Whoa, wait a minute. What barcode? Hold on.
Soon you will be able to pay for groceries at every Whole Foods in the U.S. with just a swipe of your hand. Amazon says that the Pay by Palm technology will be at all of those stores nationwide by the end of the year. Customers just have to hover their hand over the device to pay. This method is already being used at 200 Whole Foods locations across 20 states, and you can also find it in other places, stores like Panera Bread.
So I'm going to show you how I pay for my drink here in China. Wishinkaida. So I use my... You see that? All I used was my hand. And that was it.
Now, we're seeing that, a lot of things they are putting into place right before our eyes. So we'll start here first. That second video, it's a little bit different, but, it still had a lot of good spiritual, prophetic meaning to it because, they still putting certain things into place, depopulation, also they putting, trying to weaponizing the food, and also the water, different things like they're trying to constantly control, also, dealing with the air, it's all this is a part of Project 25, you know what I'm saying? Also, we already know that, this man is constantly with destroying the earth, and many shall be taken at a great number. And also, when they put this system in place, and if you don't want to comply or consent or submit, you will be taken, it's, unalive. A lot of things are coming upon us at a fast pace. So this is their ultimate goal, Also, when they had those Georgia Guidestone, when they was up, they, tore them down, I think maybe about a year or two ago. And, it said on that they want to bring down the population to 500 million. They put the plan right in front of your place, so it's in plain sight. So once again, we're not ignorant of Satan devices. So now let's start here. 2 chapter 5 and verse 1. And it says, nevertheless, as the coming tokens are the signs, the prophecies are the signs of the time, behold, the day shall come that they which dwell upon the earth shall be taken in a great number, and the way of truth shall be hidden, and the land shall be barren of faith. So one thing about it, that's where we at right now. A lot of people are going to be taken. A lot of people are going to be, unalive. Things are coming upon us. This place is also what barren of faith. The love of men is what is constantly waxing cold. Left and right. We're seeing that what increase, a lot of increased violence, a lot of increased wickedness and iniquities is right upon us. So that's what we're constantly seeing. So they're setting the stage for a lot of great death and mourning. A lot of persecution, a lot of tribulation that's coming upon us at a fast pace. Tensions is constantly rising, left and right. So death is lurking on every corner, pretty much. Let's read this once again. It said, nevertheless, as the coming tokens, the prophecies, behold, the days shall come that they which dwell upon the earth shall be taken in a great number, and the way of truth shall be hidden, and the land shall be barren of faith. So that's what we're coming upon. Also, we know that we're coming upon famine of the word fast approaching. So we already knowing that, the opportunity now to seek the Lord, because right now this man is constantly putting all sorts of executive order, all sorts plans, all sorts of what I'm trying to say is he putting things into place whereby it's going to lead to what total control. We knowing about all this, about this identification, all about this surveillance, different things that they're constantly tracking and tagging, trying to make it very, we don't want to say too much. Verse 2, it said, but iniquity shall be increased above that which now thou seest, or that thou hast heard long ago. So right now, we see that wickedness has polluted has exceedingly polluted the entire earth. Right now, so it's very wicked. We living in some very evil times. So we already knowing that the death toll is getting ready to rise. And each and every day, the Lord's constantly bringing forth that judgment. We seeing that this devil is getting ready to come down with great wrath, because he knowing that his time is very short. So he's rolling out this plan right before our eyes. So let's go here to back to the blue letter. Let's go here to Psalm chapter 64, and let's get a little bit of this plan, this new world order that they're constantly putting into place. Revelation chapter 13 is constantly just jumping off the page right now. We goes over these things left and right. We're so very close. We are so very excited. Rejoice ye heavens. It says here, Psalm chapter 64 and verse 2 said, to hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, said, from the insurrections of the workers of iniquity, So you see it right now, these they constantly plotting these evil schemes, these evil plans they are putting into place, these workers of iniquity, so we already know who that is behind the scene, these international bankers, these global elites, pushing this something that is very vain, want total control. Their inward thoughts is that they shall rule forever, but they're in for a rule awakening, that's right now they're constantly trying to roll it out, that's why it hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, the Lord is going to hide his elect, there will be in the secret place of Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushua. Verse 3, so who wet their tongues like a sword and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words. That's what they're waiting doing. They ready to, they're ready to pounce, ready to get it popping. Verse 4 said that they may shoot in secret at the perfect, and suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not. Verse 5 said they encourage themselves in a evil matter. They commune in laying snares privately or privately. They say, who shall see them? So that's exactly what they're doing, They very, very doing, they're in private, rolling out these plans left and right, this digital infrastructure, this new surveillance system that they're putting into play. Big Brother is watching. Look that up, Project 25, there's a lot of things they're constantly putting into play. Also they're going to be targeting people of color. We know that we're very close at these times. Jacob Trouble, the hour of temptation, they encourage themselves. They are very close. So we know that right now that the devil is getting ready to fill his belly. We are so very close, man, and right now that, it's more obvious and clear that, that all hell is getting ready to break loose. Also, we knowing that we seeing that they have these things already in place, AI, robotics, so we know they're going to be using drones and these robotic dogs and stuff. It's already taken over a lot of different, like police department got a lot of this technology already. So, and also it's going to lead to what transhumanism, to mass man with machine, so, and also we seen in that last video, just wave your hand. So it's going to be dealing with your hand in your right hand or into your forehead. You understand what I'm saying? So we're here, the MOTB is out the door. Verse 6 says, they search out iniquity. They accomplish a diligent search, both their inward thoughts in every one of them. And the heart is deep. So this man is he's very deep, want to pull off this plan, Let's read in the NLT, Psalm chapter 64 and verse 6 says, as they plot their crimes, they say, we have devised the perfect plan. Yes, the human heart and mind are cunning. So that's exactly, we already know about, he's very cunning. He's very subtle, that old serpent. When you go to Genesis chapter 3, so one thing about it is that we know that this man is getting ready to roll it out right before our eyes. He's doing a diligent search, the perfect plan. What they're talking about is what? Total control, the NWO, one word currency, one word religion. You know what I'm saying? Man, I'm telling you, we're here, man. It's at the door, man. I'm telling you, one word government, so we're so very close. The ultimate plan is, it's coming. It's fastly approaching. Salakia. Got a little tongue tag there. Let's go here to Proverbs, and we get one more. We close. I really didn't have too much tonight. Just something I put together through the Spirit. Let's go here to Proverbs chapter 4 and verse 16. Proverbs chapter 4 and verse 16. Because these bad boys are very, very wicked here. This right here is spot on. It said, Proverbs chapter 4, verse 16 said, for they sleep not except they have done mischief, and they sleep is taken away unless they cause some to fall. So exactly, this man is working overtime, warp speed, constantly signing these executive orders, constantly putting things into place against the people of color, which in fact is the Negroes, the Latinos, the Native Indians. I'm talking to you. One thing about this man is getting ready to bring down a hammer, but when he do, the Lord is going to lift up that standard. He cannot rest right now. He is the wicked. He is the devil that the Bible speaks of. And this man is getting ready to lose his damn mind. Verse 17 said, for they eat the bread of wickedness and drink the wine of violence. So that's exactly what he is. He's that bloody and deceitful man, And one thing about it says, thou hast not hated blood, blood shall pursue thee. So we are at that time, The Lord is getting ready to bring it to a close. The Lord is getting ready to usher in that new age, man. That's where we at. So let's go to our last and final script. Let's go here. I kept quoting it. Might well get it again. It's called this man is getting ready to pounce. Revelation chapter 12 and verse 12. Revelation chapter 12 and verse 12 says, therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knowing that he has but a short time. So we're in a short season right now. He's seeing that his days are determined. Right now, he has the green light. He's getting ready to roll it out. This is what they've been talking about for several years. For a lot of things that they have in place. This is getting ready to be a global event. Left and right. Will not be able to buy or sell. Will not be able to do a damn thing, not being a part of this system. And once again, many will be taken in a great number, so we already know we're upon the beginning of sorrow. A lot of things are coming down the pipeline. We're knowing right now that it's time to be prayed up. It's time to seek the Lord, because one thing about it is that, we're hoping that we're part of the hopeful elect, and we're hoping and praying that the Lord will deliver us, in that time of trouble. Will remember us in that time of trouble. And one thing about it, he's only coming back for that 1/3 remnant, the house of David, the true believers of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. So this man can come with anything he want to come with. We already know how the story end, or how this earth age end. We win in the end. And one thing about it, we know that the Lord is getting ready to usher in the kingdom of heaven that dwells in righteousness. So we know that we're very close to this time of trouble that we have never seen before. We know that the MOTB is at the door. And one thing about it, the Lord is getting ready to return with great glory and great power. So the title of the day lesson, once again, is The Ultimate Plan. So I'd like to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Rekah Kwadash. I like to say, Shalom, Shalom.